First, I'll request you to just introduce yourself, tell about yourself, your life, and things like that. The beginning, right from. I actually also would like to know the whole story because I'll tell you what I know about you.
Yeah,
You're from Srinagar.
true.
You've done your M vet. I mean, first the bachelor's degree, and then I know you did a post graduation degree in Canada
Yeah,
in vet, right?
that's right.
Yeah. And I also know your specialization, but these people will find it difficult to understand. But anyway, so that you're specialized vet,
Yeah,
and then you must have traveled all over the globe. I know that before coming to Sudan, you were in Muscat
yeah,
in Oman.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in Sudan, I was telling them that you were managing the largest, the biggest farm of the number one company in the sense that I think you had more than 1,000 Jersey cows,
No, these were
there,
3,000 Holstein cows.
3,000, huh? And
Yeah,
from where?
3,000 Holstein cows.
Uh,
90% of the stock was from the United States.
okay, Holston. It's called Holston, huh? Okay,
Yes.
okay. And I remember there was one lot being shipped, and there were some casualties of some
That
cows.
always happens, either you
Yeah,
airlift them, which becomes more expensive. The other
yeah,
alternative was to ship them by sea,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they suffer some casualties
Hmm.
as the
So,
standard.
I mean, you've had a great experience of being a professional vet at the same time managing, a farm of that size. Yeah,
I started as a vet, and
yeah,
then, eventually I eased myself into the corporate world, where you have
correct,
to
correct.
manage the companies
Yes, yes,
other than
yes,
doing the vet's job. It was
yes.
in 1976 that I joined my profession after clearing my graduation.
Okay.
And then I worked with, you must have heard the name Dr. Kurian.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Everyone has heard. He's the father of the milk white revolution in India.
that is true. So,
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
in the early 80s, the
Mhm.
Operation Flood started.
Yes,
This
Operation Flood. Yeah.
it was about boosting the milk production in India.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then the part two of that, which was called the Operation Flood Phase Two, I was a part of that for the state of Jammu and Kashmir,
Okay,
and
okay.
we did
Mm.
contribute quite a lot
Yeah, must have. Yes,
to the
yes.
production of.
Mhm.
Uh,
Great, great.
let's let all the students come in, and then we will start the story from there.
Yes, yes, yes,
We
yes.
go about the
But
environment.
I would also like to tell them that about your talent, about your hobbies. You know, you
Yeah.
you were actually, mm, what do I say? You were an anchor in the radio station or television
Oh my God! You remember that?
Yes, 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 yes. I remember that. Yes. And
That's
then, yeah, and then, of course, I mean, your photography is brilliant,
Thank you, thank you.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we've lots to learn from you in terms of photography,
Yeah.
So, I've been following you very, what you call, religiously. And great, and then I have downloaded some of the pictures because even the children they requested that we should see the pictures and things like that.
Yeah, today's photograph, it's about the dolphins.
Yes, 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 yes. So Tasmia has come. Tasmia is taken a challenge today that she's going to listen to you so carefully that
Welcome.
she's
Welcome.
going to be the winner in the quiz which I will later arrange based on your session you
Right.
know
There's
yeah
also
but
Tehseen Taj. I think she's also in.
who
Tehsina. I can read the name here.
no Tasmia.
Hi, na.
Yeah,
Tasmia
yeah, there
Mehboob.
was Tehsina also, Tehsina Taj. And now I see the
Ah,
name
yes, yes, Tasina Taj. Yes, yes, yes,
R. Rakshi.
yes.
Actually, Tasmia was studying class 6, but she attends class 9 enrichment class.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, great, great, great. And the biggest contender here is Divya. No,
Okay.
Divya, Bhavya, Bhavya. Bhavya has not joined today. Ah, Lata,
She will join
Bhavya.
it. They're joining,
Yeah,
start joining. Bhavya,
yeah,
Divya, and Deepika are all our everyday.
yeah, 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 yeah. Divya. See, I'll tell you, the regulars, those who really show interest in this enrichment class. Tasmia, of course. I mean, the names which I am familiar with, I may not be familiar with all the names, huh? So children don't get upset. Divya, Deepika, but there are two Deepikas. Okay, and then Amoga Varsha, you are there. Very good. Yeah, but then Jayashree, Bhavya, these girls also have to come because they are regulars and they're very interested in enrichment classes. Like uh, I have spent quite some time with them, Doc, and talking about various subjects because that also helped me to brush up
Yep.
whatever I had forgotten. Yeah, yeah.
True, true. You
Mainly
learn.
from
Yeah, you learn a
mainly
lot.
from yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, social sciences, right? And then I took them to Sudan and Ethiopia and Masai Mara and Egypt, right? Starting from the ancient history, right from Kush dynasty. And and yeah, yeah. And Doc, you must have seen this Zainab Badawi's videos. She's done a remarkable job about the history of Africa.
Yeah.
Zainab Badawi actually is a Sudanese. She was born in Sudan,
Yeah.
but when she was 2 years, her parents migrated to London, and since then she's been with. I mean, she's been brought up there, and then she works for BBC.
Okay.
So yeah, because of her affinity to Africa, that's why she created the series of BBC documentaries in discovering Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've seen all that. And
She
then
was
recently,
also working as an anchor, I think, for, I don't know, CN.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
BBC anchor, yes, yes, yes. And then recently, Doc, you know that our Suez Canal was in the news.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we also talked about Suez Canal, the history of Suez Canal,
Yeah.
like how it was designed by the pharaohs those
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had some guests also. They met the Lion Man of Sudan. They met Rana Basu. Then they met Dr. BK Iyer, my friend from Bombay.
Great.
So today we have the pleasure of having Dr. Suhail Khan.
Thank you
Right.
for having me over.
Yeah. Over to you now.
Okay.
I'll only show you the pictures when you want, when you tell me.
Well, let's keep it
Yeah.
for some
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
from the beginning. So, good
Yes.
evening to you, young ladies.
Good
My,
evening, Anna.
uh,
Hmm.
my
Good
name
evening, Anna.
is Suhail Khan, and I'm talking to you from the city of Sydney, which is in Australia. It's in fact the largest of the cities of Australia. Although these cities are not as populated as the cities are in India, the population of Sydney is about 6 to 7 million, but it is one of the largest cities as far as the area is concerned. It's about 12,000 square kilometers, which is a very, very big area. Now, to tell you something about myself, I graduated in the year 1976, and then I joined the government service and also joined with Dr. Korean, the Operation Flood Phase 2. It was a project that was meant to increase the milk production of India in the 80s. And I worked for the government for about 10 years. And then I left India in 1986 and joined one of the biggest dairy companies in Oman. It was the Oman Agriculture Development Company. where we had almost about 3 to 4,000 animals, the cattle of the Holstein breed, which we had imported from Germany, United States, and Sweden. But once we imported the parent stock, the main stock, the progeny we got ourselves. We had a very robust breeding program there. So and our production was quite a lot. We used to produce about 60 to 70,000 liters a day. Now, let me tell you something about India. It's very interesting. You know, in the year 2002, I was attending a conference in Denmark. I hope you know there is a country called Denmark. It's in Europe, and within the Denmark there is a city called Aarhus. Now we were attending a dairy conference there, and the chairman of the conference was the FAO chairperson rather. She was a lady there, and while the papers were being read on the biz bar behind the stage, we suddenly got a notification which read that India exceeds United States of America in milk production. So imagine, somewhere in 2002, the milk production of India was more than the milk production of the United States. But unfortunately, what has happened now, United States has again gone ahead of India by a few thousand liters. Now, to give you some figures here, United States produces about 101 million metric tons in 1 year. And India produces about 93.8 million tons per year. And the next is China with 33 million and Russia 31.5 million. Now it sounds very nice that India produces 93.8 million. That's perfectly all right. But the problem is the per capita. Now you see, United States, the per capita consumption of milk is about 254 kilograms per capita per year, while as India is only 99. You see the vast difference between 254 liters and 99 liters in India. This is huge. And then also, you see, the number of animals. In the whole world, you have about 264 million cows. Out of this, India has about 43.5 million cows, and USA has only 9 million cows. So imagine, USA is producing 101 million metric tons from 9 million cows. India is producing 93 million liters from 43 million cows. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the production of our cows is very low. Our cow in India produces about 5,000 to 6,000 liters per year, while as a cow in the United States produces about 30,000 liters in 1 year. Now you see the difference. And then from this huge population of 43 million cows, most of them are unproductive. Now the problem in India is because of the religious sentiments and the social sentiments and other things, people eat beef, so the cows are not slaughtered, cows are revered. So therefore there are a lot of unproductive animals which just roam around and they don't produce milk. While as in the US, they don't do that. Any unproductive cow goes away, it's culled. Only the productive cows are kept in the loop who produce milk. So now to overcome this problem, in the 1980s, we started to upgrade our indigenous cows, which are also called the Zebu cattle. We wanted to make them like European cattle or the American cattle by introducing the exotic genetics in them. So we made a progeny of cows which reached to a level of about 16 to 17 liters from the original 4 to 5 liters. But their total number is still less. I think the government is working on that. Eventually, I think we will reach there. But at the moment, our condition is very, very backward. We are nowhere near the European Union or the United States. It's very low. And there are also other problems. When we started this breeding program in 80s, we faced a lot of problem from the religious groups. What happened is we bred the local cows with the exotic animal genetic material, and the progeny that we got was strange looking. Like those cows did not have the hump. On the back there is a hump. The local cows had the hump. Now these exotic animals did not have the hump. So the Hindus said they have sort of tarnished the image of the cows, so they were against us. And the Muslims said, these don't look like cows, they look like pigs. So they were also against us. So it was a very big problem to get over to this. So we pleaded with the religious clergy and the priests and told them to educate the people that this is nothing to do with religion. This is to improve the milk production, which eventually the people understood. And then after that, there was a smooth sailing and we were able to increase the production. So that was an anecdote that I wanted to share with you. So after working in Oman, say for about 27 years in the dairy industry, I went to Canada. And there in the state of Alberta, there's a place called Calgary. So I did my post-graduation from there in a subject called reproductive physiology. So, and after having completed that, and there was an annex to that was the embryo transfer technology. It's like, you wouldn't understand at this level, but once you go into your college, you would be able to comprehend what is an embryo transfer technology, where you transfer the embryos from animals to animals and also clone animals. So after doing that, I came back to Oman, served another 2 to 3 years there. And then I went to Sudan. The Republic of Sudan was very new to me. It was my first African experience as far as the job is concerned. Before that, I had traveled through Africa. I had gone to Egypt and, of course, Israel, which is almost like Africa, but not Africa, and South Africa. But Sudan, work-wise, was my first experience. Now, Sudan is a place where there are technologically very advanced companies, and there is also a lot of poverty in Sudan. The people of Sudan are really, really very, very good. And I was working for a company called Dal Group. So we had a very advanced dairy farm there. We had about 3,000 animals. We used to produce about 30 to 40,000 liters of milk every day. I would also like to tell you something about the Australian dairy industry. Now, there is a lot of difference between the American dairy industry, the Omani dairy industry, and the Sudanese dairy industry and the Australian dairy industry. In all these other countries, they milk their animals 3 to 4 times a day. And they manage to do that because they don't take their animals or cows to the pasture. You know what's a pasture? Pasture is a massive, huge field where they grow fodder crops. So they don't take the animals there. What they do is they cut the fodder in from the fields and bring it to the cows. And then cows are taken to the machines that milk. They don't do any hand milking. Like in India, you must be seeing the people, with a pail, they go to the cow and milk the cow. But in these countries, what they do is there are machines, robots that milk the cows. And a collection of these robotic machines put in one place, and it's called a milking parlor. Like you have the beauty parlor, these are the milking parlors. So animals are taken into the milking parlor where about 60 animals are milked at the same time. And high yielding cows, like which are yielding about 30 liters a day, so they are milked in a matter of 5 minutes, each cow. So it saves time, the cows produce more milk, and there's not much of hassle. But the fodder is brought from the field to these cows in their stalls. Now, Australia is a little different. In Australia, what they do is, although they do have the milking parlors, but they do not bring the fodder from the fields to the cows. What they do is they let off the cows in the field in the morning after the first milking. And during the day, these cows, they graze in the field and have their fill. Then in the evening, people go on the tractors or on the jeeps and they collect these cows, bring them back to the parlor, and the second milking takes place. And then they are locked up in the barns for the night. So that's the routine. In Australia, the cows are milked only 2 times. In the US, they are milked from 3 to 4 times. Likewise, in other countries. In Japan also, Japan was in fact one of the first countries which started the robotic milking. They trained the cows to go near the robot, stay at a place, in a defined place, and then these machines would come, get attached to their teats, and then start milking. So that was pretty advanced. Japan was one of the first countries to have the robotic milking. And from there onwards, it went to Europe and the United States. So now the milking all over the place is very advanced. And you will be surprised to know that the dairy industry involves about $54 billion. It's such a huge industry. This is only in terms of milk, $54 billion. If you add to it the cost of the progeny, like the offsprings when they sell them, or the cull cows, it goes even above $54 billion. So you can imagine how big the industry is. Now, to tell you something about the commercial part of it. Now, when you become a vet, you have two options. Either you become a vet who treats the animals, has his own private clinic, he treats the animals, charges fee, and that's it. The other aspect of being a veterinarian is to go on a commercial veterinary side, which involves the dairy production and the poultry production. Like you have the chicken and the hens. Now in that also there are two parts to it. Either you deal with the egg production and sell those eggs, or the broilers where the meat is sold. Like you rear the chicken, and the advantage there is that those chicken, in just 30 days time, they become about 1.5 kilograms live weight. So it's a very quick way of making them put on weight and muscle, and then you sell them. So these are basically the two parts of the poultry industry. Now, during my tenure of being a vet and also the general manager of these companies, I also developed hobbies. And my most passionate hobby was photography. And I've almost roamed around the entire world. There are only very few countries that I have not visited. Otherwise, I visited almost all countries. And wherever I went, I always took my camera with me. And then, photography is not all that easy. It's not just you pick up the camera and, click. You need to know a lot of things. And I did it all myself. As you call it in English, you call it autodidactic. You yourself learn everything. Nobody teaches you. There are, in the YouTube, you have a lot of videos, you have books. So you gather them, you collect all these videos, you go through them, you take down notes, and eventually, you learn the trade. Now, I would ask Mr. Bhaskar to show you some pictures that I've taken around the world. And while he's showing the pictures, maybe we can also tell you something about that. So Bhaskarji, are you ready to show
Yes,
them?
yes, doctor. It will be my pleasure to show them your pictures, which I have downloaded from your Facebook.
Great.
In fact, I have made a folder here, and I will start from uh, yeah, the dolphins,
Okay.
because I think that is the latest.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the dolphins.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my this thing takes a bit time to open up.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We still
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Yes, now first it will become black, then white, and then colored.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Uh, now you see, I'll tell you something about these dolphins. The dolphins, they are one of the very intelligent marine mammals. Dolphins are not fish. They are mammals. They feed their young ones. The definition of a mammal is the one who feeds its young ones, and they give birth to their young ones. They are not oviparous. That means they don't lay eggs. They give birth to their calves. Their young ones are called calves. Now, these dolphins, which are trained for these acrobatics and other things, these are the bottle-nosed dolphins. And the other thing that I would like to tell you about the dolphins is that there are killer whales. Now, killer whales is a misnomer. Actually, the killer whales are the dolphins. Now, you will ask me, why are they called killer whales? In the ancient times, when the sailors sailed in the ocean, they saw some kind of whales which looked like fish. They were eating other larger whales, and they called them whale killers. And then the whale killers got changed into killer whales. But these are actually dolphins. And you have the sea dolphins that swim and live in the salt water. And then there are river dolphins. Those are smaller ones. Like in Ganges, you find dolphins. Brahmaputra, you find dolphins. In the Chinese rivers, you find dolphins, but those are smaller dolphins. The smaller dolphin is about 9 feet, 8 to 9 feet in length, and about 70 to 80 kgs maybe in weight. The sea dolphins, like the killer whales, they can be as long as 9 meters, and those can weigh about 10 tons. So you see the huge difference. But apart from the killer whales, which are predators, of course, very ferocious, other dolphins are more friendly. They're intelligent, they're friendly, they try to learn. And this photograph that you were seeing is clicked at Gold Coast. It's a sea world where they are rearing these dolphins. And they put up a show for the tourists that come from around the world. Yes, Bhaskarji, next.
Yes.
Now this is a bird. Can anybody tell me what bird is this?
Pelican.
Fantastic. This is a pelican, and this is an Australian pelican. It's a very large bird, and the distinct thing about the pelican is that it has the male pelican has the largest beak in the avian world. That means no other bird has as long a beak as the pelicans have. And the other thing is this: when it rains, it opens its mouth, the beak, the lower jaw, the lower portion of the beak becomes a pouch. And they collect the raindrops in that pouch and thereby collect water, and then it drinks the water. That's one way of getting the rainwater. The other thing is this: they also eat pigeons, and they eat small rodents, and they swallow them heads first. So these are pelicans. Their beak is pink, and They're very nice, but once they select a place to sit or to sleep, then their movement is very, very, very little. They don't move much. That's how you can take their pictures. But you have to endure, you have to go through their natural habitat to get closer to them to get their picture. Yes, Bhaskarji, next. Yeah. Now, can anybody tell me what
This and this. Which one do you want me to show first? This
both
one?
are the same? Both are the same at different
Same.
times, different
Okay.
angles. So,
Okay.
can anybody tell me what this is?
Jellyfish.
Correct. These are jellyfish, and they have a pancake-like body. And the important thing about the jellyfish is they don't have brains, they don't have heart, they don't have lungs. So their outer surface is so permeable that they directly take in oxygen from the surrounding, from the water, and utilize it, and they float. They float like a real jelly. They're floaters. So that's a jellyfish. Again, this picture was taken in the what do you call it? Coastal zones in Australia, in the East Australia. Yes, please.
Anna, while taking these pictures of jellyfish, did you go in the water body, Anna?
Yes, you have to cover your camera with a waterproof thing, otherwise the camera will get spoiled. So you have to take the camera down and with a snorkel, and then you click. That is one way of clicking. The other way of clicking is, in the zoos and other places, they keep it in the jars, big, huge glass jars. But when you take picture in the glass jars, they're not very clear because then there is an impediment of glass. You may not be able to take picture as clear as this one. If Bhaskarji, do you have any other picture of the jellyfish? Not this
This
one.
one?
You don't have any other.
No. No,
Okay.
I can show you your Facebook page.
No, there is one picture that was taken through the glass. That is with all the tentacles and things like
Is
that.
is it in this same group
Yes.
in your Facebook?
Yes.
1 minute, 1 minute. Okay. I'll just show it. 1 minute. I don't know why this one has become so big.
If you go to the jellyfish, it's
Yeah.
3 or 4 photographs together. The one that you find with tentacles, that's the one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Now
Yeah.
let me see.
Yeah. No, not in this group.
Okay. No. There are 4 more. So I'll
Yeah.
show you. This
Yeah,
one?
this one.
Yeah.
Now you see this one, I have clicked through the glass. So the clarity is not so good. So it is
Okay.
always
Okay.
better to go inside the water, covering your camera, go in deep there, and then click. So there is that's much more clearer. So Bhaskarji, let's go to our next photograph.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the next one, yeah, okay, I had it actually. Here also you can see the tentacles, but anyway.
Yeah.
This one.
Now, you know what this is? Can anybody tell me what this is?
Come on, children, you know it.
Anna, is it a stingray or a manta?
Absolutely correct. Who said that?
Correct. Amoga. No?
Okay,
Amoga? Yes.
great. This is a stingray fish.
Amog Varsha.
You know these are also very flat kind of a fish. They're friendly fish unless threatened. There was a very famous person, animal lover in Australia who died because of the sting of this
Yes.
stingray. Actually speaking, the stingrays are friendly. They've been given now bad name after the death of that person, but otherwise You can even touch this, but never go above this while swimming or too close to it, because if it stings, the toxin in the sting is not so powerful that it can kill a person. It causes intense pain, but it is not fatal. People don't die of the sting of the stingray. The person who died in Australia was because the sting, it pierced his heart. So unless a vital
Oh,
organ is pierced, you don't die by a stingray, sting. In the zoos and other places, they keep them in big ponds, but they take out the sting out of this fish. So people, tourists, they come, they touch it, and they're very friendly animals, sea fish. And you see these blue dots on top of this. This is a camouflaging sort of setup with these because they normally apprehend their food from coral reefs. So the coral reef is pretty resplendent. It's colorful. So to camouflage themselves, you have these blue spots and other colored spots on top of them so that they can hide and wait for the prey to come near them when they apprehend it. Okay, Bhaskarji, let's go further. Now, can anyone tell me what this is?
This is a seagull.
Absolutely, correct. This is a seagull. Now, the gulls are almost everywhere in the world, and you just don't have there are about 200 species of this gull. Some are seagulls, there are lake gulls also, and then there are black-headed gulls also. So these are friendly in the sense that they're not scared of the human beings. They do come, especially when you are on the beach, they would come very close to you. But one should be careful because they can also bite. So sometimes they are vindictive, and in their beak they also carry bacteria, which can cause infection in human beings. They look nice, they look very good, but one should be very careful getting too close to them. So those are gulls. I've taken this picture in Gold Coast again, and this was a flying shot. To take a flying shot is a little difficult. You have to pan your camera, match the speed of your camera with the speed of the bird, and click it faster. And whenever you shoot a bird, you must make sure that the eye is the focus. Eye should be visible in the. You might be having a very good photograph of a bird, but if the eye is not visible, you will not win any awards for the photograph. Okay, Bhaskarji, let's go further.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I have this one and this one. Yes.
Yeah.
Whichever. Mm.
Yeah, both are the same animals, but which
Yeah.
animal is this?
Sea lion.
Sea lion.
Exactly. There are seals also. Can anybody tell me the difference between a seal and a sea lion?
Seal have large teeth, which have.
No, the basic difference is seals are smaller than sea lions. That's number one. Number two, seals have a lot of fur on their skin. Sea lion does not have that much of fur. So that is the basic difference. So these are very, very good animals, sea lions, but they're also intelligent. They're very friendly. They teach them tricks. These flippers that you see, basically these are the limbs, the four limbs, and on the ground they walk with all their four flippers.
Four limbs. Yeah.
Four limbs. And this one is becoming narcissist. It's looking in his reflection, admiring its beauty.
Yes.
and they swim pretty fast, almost at about 30 kilometers an hour. Yeah, let's go to the.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now what is this?
Koala bear.
Absolutely correct. This is a polar bear, and they usually eat these seals. They thrive on seals. They thrive on fish because they belong to a region called tundra region. You know what's a tundra region? Tundra is the Arctic Circle. Up there, there's snow, frost, everything is frozen during almost around the year. Although it's more and more colder there during the winters, less cold during the summer. So basically, they thrive on that. Polar bear happens to be the largest of the bears. It's bigger than the brown bear. It's bigger than the black bear. And these the peculiar thing about these is they have very smelly feet, and that's because they mark their territory when they walk, because of their sort of enzymes that they secrete. The feet are smelly. They mark their territory with that. And they are the world's most ferocious predators. They look cuddly, they look very friendly, but one needs to maintain a very large distance from these. Now, this one I have taken with a 400 lens from a very long distance. One should not go near these because they can be dangerous. So, shall we move further?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I wanted to ask you one question on this.
Yeah.
That finally, what did this man do? Because he
Lady.
left the
It's a lady. She was
okay.
she was. There are other pictures also the same of this lady. If you see the whole square, there are 4 or 5 of these photographs.
Okay.
So she was skiing, and then at this point she slipped, and this anchor, it got out of her hands, and that was the end of her competition.
So she had to swim back.
There's a motorboat. This line that in front, it is attached to a motorboat. So
yes.
She's skiing. She's behind the motorboat.
Okay. Yeah,
and it's a pretty fast one. That's why you see all this froth and all this, in the photograph.
Yeah. I can show you the other pictures. 1 minute of the skiing. No.
Yeah.
Wait. It will be before this, means later than this.
I think before this, yes.
Before means okay. It will be
going the right way.
below this. No.
Right, somewhere there.
Okay. 1 minute.
I think it's before the sea lions.
Yeah.
You see, this is the lady.
Yeah. Correct. This is the lady. Okay.
This is the starting point, and then you see she's going in this big circle.
Yeah. Okay.
And, she lets it go, and that's the end of her.
I think she purposely let it go.
Yeah, she must have won the.
Yeah. Okay.
One is called the surf riding, where there is a single board on which you place 2 feet. The other one is the skiing. It's snow skiing, where you have 2 separate boards. You keep legs on 2 separate skis. So
great.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yes. Now we're coming to some places.
Yeah. This is Gold Coast. I've taken 2 pictures of Gold Coast, one during the day and one during the night. And this is a city like what you have in the US. You have the Las Vegas, and in Australia, you have the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering why a coast is called gold.
Why? Because I also try to ask them question why the Gold Coast is called Gold Coast. The beach there, the sand on the beach, absolutely like golden.
Golden. Okay. Yeah, that must be the reason.
Black sand. The sand is golden. It's beige. It shines in the sunshine.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Again, if some birds here, I think ibises, no?
Yeah, these are ibises, but these are different ibises compared to the African ibis. You know, the African ibis is
Ah,
a revered bird, and that's also very
yes, yes,
in the Egyptian theme, like the
correct. Yes.
all that. You know, there's mythological figures in the Egyptian
Hmm.
mythology, but these are Australian ibises, and they
Hmm.
now have left their natural habitat and have started coming into the city of Sydney, and people don't like them here.
Oh,
They call them bin chickens because they go into the bins and extract food from there. So
I see.
they live, people don't in Australia. They
Oh,
yeah,
ah.
this is and
They've
they
changed their behavior, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
You see the peculiar thing about the ibis,
adapted.
it eats,
Yeah.
eats, 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 and stores food in its gizzard here. And then when
Hmm.
it's young ones, it sort of vomits back into the beak of his young one. That's how they feed their children.
Okay, okay, okay. Right. Yeah. So I saw your caption. This is called a Gold Coast vintage car.
No, this is a car. It's a vintage car of in 1940. So this is a
Okay.
taxi that used to ply there, and it is still in very good condition. Although it's not allowed to run on the main roads anymore because the technology is old. The brakes are not as good as in the modern cars, but they have preserved this. This is a taxi from 1940.
Okay, 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 okay. Hmm.
This is
This one again.
it was called Vauxhall. It is a
Vauxhall. Yes, 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 yes.
British car. Yeah, vintage
Yeah, yeah.
from the 40s.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is I forgot what car is this. Morris.
Austin, Morris or Austin. I don't know.
Yeah, Fiat. Sorry, this
Okay,
is Fiat. This,
Austin. Yeah.
this is the Fiat.
Oh, Fiat, Fiat. Okay, okay, Fiat. Italian.
Yeah, Fiat.
Yeah,
Fiat is Italian. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, who can tell me what this is?
Nile River.
Nile, Anna, Nile.
This is Nile River. Now, I must tell you something about the Nile River. Uh, the capital of Sudan is Khartoum. Now, Khartoum is a city that is situated on the confluence of two Niles. One is the White Nile, the other one is the Blue Nile. Now, the White Nile comes from Lake Victoria. Lake Victoria is the source of the White Nile. So it starts from Lake Victoria in Uganda and it comes to Khartoum. The Blue Nile originates from
Lake
Ethiopia,
Tuna.
the rain catchment areas. So it starts from Ethiopia, the Blue Nile, and comes to Khartoum. There, both these Niles, they meet each other, and then from there it is formed the Greater Nile, and it flows to Egypt. This is the only river in Africa that flows from south to north. All other rivers they flow from north to south. Even in India, every river flows from north to south.
South.
Now, Nile also is one of the longest. It is the longest river in the world, uh, and it flows from south to north. And there's a place in Egypt called Alexandria where it has its delta. You know what's a delta?
Another river's mouth.
Yeah, where the river goes into the
Sea.
sea, yeah, or ocean or sea or whatever. So that's delta. So the delta of River Nile is in Alexandria, in that is in Egypt, and
Yeah.
this has a
Mediterranean Sea.
Mediterranean Sea. That is right, and it is mentioned in the Egyptian history and the biblical history. It has a lot of significance in the religious scriptures of the Jews and also of the Christians and also of the Muslims, the River Nile. Uh, that is how the Cairo was, it thrived because being on the river bank, the Nile bank. So that's the story of Nile. So
But doctor, is this a sunrise?
this is a sunset. Now you see the,
Sunset.
yeah. Now you see
Uh-huh.
you see the water is very smooth. It's looking
Yes.
clear, and you also see the clouds. They are
Yes.
floating. Now, how
Yes.
it's achieved is you make your shutter speed in the camera very slow.
Yes.
This was the sensor of the camera was exposed for about 2.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when you click a photograph, it's 1/100th or 1
Correct.
200th of a second. That
Second. Yes.
this is two and a
Okay.
half minutes. Very
Okay.
long exposure.
I
So
see.
then the movement of the clouds is captured.
Mm.
Otherwise, you wouldn't see this movement of the clouds. And also the waves in the river are smoothened, and that's how you get
Yes.
the reflection of the sun onto the water.
Mm.
That's how this picture
No,
has been taken.
no,
And
and
it does
doctor.
not look like a photograph, and it actually looks like a painting.
Mm.
That is a compliment. If because it's always better than photographs. If photograph looks
Yes.
like something, that means it's a very good photograph. And thank you very much for that compliment.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
And doc, amazing that the sun, you can see the rays coming out from the sun upwards.
That is because whenever you want to take the rays, the
Uh,
and now you see it is ironical. These when you have these rays, these are called corona.
yes, yes,
You
yes.
see, but corona is devastating.
Spikes. Yeah.
When you want to have this
Yeah.
corona effect in the sun, what you need to do is you need to keep your aperture as small as possible. On the camera,
Okay.
big F number. It is inversely proportional.
Yeah.
F22 is small aperture. F2
Okay.
is larger aperture.
Mm.
It was taken at about 16 f16, a very small aperture, and that's how you
Okay.
get these rays. You can do that.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, really. Okay, next. Doc, where is this?
Yeah. Now this is an interesting photograph.
Oh, okay, okay. I know where it is, but I'll not say mention.
Okay. Now this has been taken in a place called Ladakh. Now
Mm.
Ladakh is the northernmost tip of our country, India. This used to be a part of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, but not anymore. This is a union territory of Ladakh. And what you see in this picture is a monastery, a Buddhist monastery. And this monastery is called Lama Yuru. So,
Mm.
and it's a big monastery, about 150 monks. They live there 24/7. They undergo their religious training, their moral values are imbued into them. So that is this place. A lot of Buddhists come there for paying their homage to Lord Buddha. So, and this is situated in very stark, barren mountains. In fact, this part of Ladakh is also called the moonland because the surface there looks more like a moon. I mean, if you take out this greenery from the photograph, you would think this picture has been taken either in Mars or Moon or wherever. So that is about this picture, and it has its
Oh,
connection with one of the tribes of Buddhas in Germany. Uh, so there is a link.
okay. Great.
Now this is the Dal Lake, Kashmir. Have you heard about Dal Lake?
Mm. Children, you heard about Dal Lake?
Yes, Anna.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is the Dal Lake, one of the very famous lakes of Kashmir. It's situated in the capital city of Kashmir, Srinagar, and this mountain closer down below is called the Shankaracharya mountain, and behind where the sun is setting, that is the Pir Panjal range of the Himalayas. So it is setting behind the Peer Panchal. And in front is the
Okay.
Dal Lake, where you see the reflection of the sun, setting sun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. But this is, I think, late in the evening.
This is late in the evening. The sun is about to set. After a
No,
minute.
but yeah, but there are no houseboats around.
No, this is a long shot. Houseboats are near the
Okay,
bank of the shore of the
I
lake.
see. Okay,
So it's a
okay,
long
okay,
shot. You can't see them.
okay, okay. Fantastic. This one.
This is a ski resort of Kashmir called Gulmarg. Now, Gulmarg
Gulmarg.
is a Persian word. Gul means flowers, and Marg means meadow. So in English, this is meadow of flowers. So during the summer, it's like this, where the wildflowers grow like in abundance, and there are these pine forests all around it. And during the winters, it snows, and you have about 10 feet of snow accumulated. And people from all around the world, they come and ski here. It's a ski resort of Kashmir. You must have seen during this last winter, it was all on the television in India.
Yes, yes, yes. Right. So that's a snow peak. So there's a sun reflection on that snow peak.
No, there's no snow at this time because this was taken in August. So in August,
Okay,
you
okay,
can find snow on this side. On the other side, you have the snow. I haven't taken that.
okay,
This is just the
okay,
sun
okay,
reflecting
okay.
on the pine forest below, and that is the haze down there, the reflection.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Now got it. Fine. Right.
And there is also a high altitude warfare school in Gulmarg of the army, where they train the soldiers
Okay,
in the high altitude
okay,
warfare
okay.
schools.
Warfare. Okay, okay.
Now, Bhaskarji, can you tell me what place?
Ye- Yeah, actually, this one very familiar. Is it? No, this of course again is the Nile, but
Yeah, this
exactly which place
this
I
is
don't
a
know.
this is a White Nile uh,
Uh-huh.
behind Corinthia. You know, if you go to Corinthia, you go
Okay, okay.
driving
Yeah,
beyond that, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fijra or something it's called. I forgot the name. So that is during the sunset. You know, it's a White Nile.
Okay, okay, okay. No, did you take it from the Tuti Island or something?
No, no,
No.
no, no, no.
Okay,
The island is on the right of
fine.
this. Yeah.
And okay, okay, yeah, okay. This one again, of course, yeah.
Right.
This I yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Very good. Beautiful. All paintings, huh? Not
Yeah.
photographs.
This is again.
Where is this one?
This is in.
Nile.
It's near Shendi.
Oh, Shendi, Shendi. Okay.
Again the Nile in Shendi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shendi. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Doc, I found this picture, the sky.
This is
Can
not
you
a sky.
explain?
It's not a sky actually.
Okay,
These are glow.
okay, okay.
These are glowworms. You know, in Australia,
Glow. Yes, 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 yes. Correct,
in
correct.
Australia and New Zealand, there are tunnels, huge
Yeah.
tunnels, abundant tunnels, and these
Mm.
glowworms they reside inside the tunnel. So you have to go in pitch dark. You cannot light any torch or anything. No lights. You don't have to make any sounds because then they stop glowing. So you have to wait there. Then you see them glowing, and you take picture. It's very difficult to click their pictures in the pitch dark.
These are glowworms. And
Glowworm.
now I understand. Yeah, this. Okay, okay.
This is a
Uh,
This is a
I
there's
wildlife.
want
a
to
yeah, but this uh, the picture that you've taken with its tongue out, fiery tongue out. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
really like a picture. I mean, not a live monitor lizard.
No, it's a live monitor, and it's a predator, and it's pretty. It's a carnivore,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
you maintain a
mm,
little distance from it. So
yeah.
it's a monitor.
But this is a great moment that you have taken, huh?
Yeah, this was
With
while
the tongue.
those glowworm tunnels en route. You have to trek.
Yes,
There
yes, yes.
on this one.
Anna,
Okay.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Anna, one question, Anna. When you have take these pictures, Anna, like there they leave the animals free, Anna. Like they can roam, walk. They don't cage them, Anna.
What's that? I didn't get your question.
No, are they wild? They're free animals.
Yeah, they are wild. They're wild. Yes, of course. This is a wild animal. We found it in the forest. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the tunnel that you're talking
This
about,
is
right?
one of the tunnels en route. I just like the place. I clicked a picture. You can see the lights of the
Okay.
car on the left side.
Yes, 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 yes. So this is the full view.
This is a full
Yeah,
view
how?
monitor.
Yeah, maybe how many? You have more than 10 feet or something?
This is about what 3 meters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
huge.
Anna,
Yeah.
how long is it to stay, Anna?
How long it
How
takes? What?
long? No, no. How long is it? Its tail.
Uh,
You can see it
tail
is
is
as long as the body.
exactly. Yes, if it is 3 meters, say 1.5 meter is the tail. 1.5 meter is the body.
Hmm. Great. Okay. And this is where, Doc?
Now, this is a very interesting. This is in the United States, in the state of Arizona.
Okay.
Oh, you must have heard about the
Mhm.
Grand Canyon. It's one of the
Yes, yes, yes.
beautiful canyons, natural. Nobody has made it. It's there. There's a long story of erosion and evolution and lot many things, and the Grand Canyon has formed. Now, this picture I have taken at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and the river that snakes through it is the Colorado River. Colorado is a
Okay.
state in the U.S., so this is a Colorado River going through the Grand Canyon.
Hmm.
It's during the evening
Right, right.
setting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, this reminds me of the school days Western movies,
Yeah.
Colorado and Grand Canyon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Doc, where is this?
This is a Chinese garden. You know, these Chinese
Yes.
gardens are very strange because they have to have the waterfall, they have to have
Mhm.
pagodas, they have to have gates. All these things are supposed to be there. When the architect of this garden, when it took him, I don't know, about 5 years to plan the what do you call landscape for this Chinese garden. And this is only a one segment of it, but it's a very big garden.
But is it in Sydney?
It is in Sydney, yes.
Okay. That is what is amazing, right? See,
Yeah,
this one also, part of it. Yeah.
this is the
So,
gate.
yeah.
You know what happened
So
at
there's,
in I think
hmm.
it was 1990 or someplace when Hong Kong was officially handed over to China by Britain,
Yes.
because Hong Kong was
Yes.
a British colony, and then because of
Yes.
treaty they handed it over to China, and then a lot
China.
of people from Hong Kong who were like originally Chinese, they didn't want to go to China,
Okay.
so they
True.
emigrated
Yeah.
to Australia. So there's a huge Chinese
Correct.
population
Correct.
in Sydney.
I see. Okay. No wonder. What I gathered from you is that during the day you're enjoying in the Chinese garden, and at night you're going for dinner at Chinatown. Okay. That's it, Doc.
Thank you
The
very much.
best
They have
that
any
yeah.
questions about anything?
Yes. Yes.
I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
give
I'm sure.
you a few
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Anna,
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
question. Seeing these beautiful pics, I'm feeling like, wow, how beautiful it is. How nature is creating this beauty. I'm feeling. How was your experience when you're going to that place, seeing that beauty, and how was your
Phenomenal.
experience about that?
Phenomenal. You know, when I was a kid like you in the school, in the college, we used to read about all these things. When I was small, we used to read a lot about the African continent. We used to read about Sudan. At that point of time, we had no we couldn't even imagine that someday we will go to Sudan. It was just in the books. It was like fairy tale, or the United States, or all these places we read in the books. But when we actually went there, it was amazing. It's like the dream come true. And I would ask all of you, study hard and make it your goal to go around the world. God has given us a beautiful planet. There's so many beautiful places, but you have to work a little hard, not much hard, but little hard through your schools and through your education. And God willing, one day you will visit all these places.
And being working 10 years as a animal doctor, Anna, how was your experience, Anna?
It was very good, because when I joined this profession, I did not know what it entails. In my brain, I thought it just entails treating animals and that's it. I didn't know. But when I saw the other facets of this, do you know, by the way, in the Pfizer, the person who developed this vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine against the coronavirus, he is a veterinarian. So he's a vet, he's an animal doctor. So there are a lot of facets in the veterinary science. You can become a scientist, you can become a public health official, you can become a commercial vet dealing with poultry and dairy production, or you can simply be a small animal clinician, or you can become a vet of the horses where you treat the horse racing horses. There's no end to it. And when I realized so many facets of the veterinary science, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I remember one point, Doc, you telling me, children, this is for you, that, a vet is a very specialized doctor because he treats patients who cannot speak, cannot express themselves.
Yes,
Like pediatricians, yeah.
This is very interesting. If
Yeah.
you have to compare a veterinarian with a medical doctor, the only medical doctor that you can compare a veterinarian with is the pediatrician, a doctor who treats the children, because very small babies, they cannot tell you what is ailing them, what's the problem. So there are two types of symptoms. One are the subjective symptoms, the other ones are the objective symptoms. Now, the subjective symptoms are those that the patient tells you. Like a patient comes to a doctor, he says, "Sir, I have headache. Sir, I have a ache in the knee. My knee is aching. I cannot walk properly, or my digestion is bad." These are all subjective symptoms. The objective symptoms are those where the patient cannot express what is wrong with him. The doctor has to, know what is the problem. He has certain parameters which he applies on the patient, like the temperature, the pulse, the reaction to certain stimuli. And then he knows what the problem is. So the veterinarian does it that way, because animals cannot talk. So he does that, and so does the pediatrician. So the pediatrician and the veterinarian are same, except the difference is the pediatrician, when he studies only the man. A veterinarian, when he studies, he has to study comparative things like cats, cows, dogs, and camels. So it's that much more difficult. So that's
Yes,
it.
any more questions?
Anna,
I think, yeah.
Anna, as you said, as you're a vet doctor now, Anna, same thing happens with some of the regular doctors who treat humans now. It's like the human cannot express what has happened and he does not know about his disease. So the doctor does everything, and after the scanning, blood test, everything, it happens to know that he has that disease. And
I'm not sure, because your audio was not very clear, but I think I got the gist of your question. There are doctors who are very good. They are called good clinicians. That means when the patient comes to them, they tell them what is the problem. Then he looks for the symptoms. He looks at their face, their body, posture and other things. So he comes to know what the disease is, and he prescribes the medicine. This used to be in the olden times. This was the routine. But lately what has happened is doctors depend on certain tests. This is also to keep them legally safe. That means if by mistake doctor misdiagnoses a disease and something goes wrong with the patient can sue him in the court of law. So to keep himself safe, and also to determine the exact, because now with the technology, a lot of tests. So when you go to a doctor, you tell him that you have a certain problem, you have headache, his brain might go that you might be having hypertension, you might be having something else. So he will give you a complete blood test. He'll tell you, okay, see how many neutrophils you have, how many RBCs you have, lot many things. He might even test your blood against bacterial or viral infections. He might even tell you to have kidney function test, the liver function test, lot many tests. And then from the test, he sees what is abnormal, and then he prescribes the medicine. So we do it also in the veterinary science. The only difference is the animals don't speak, but we do take its blood sample, urine sample, stool sample, and then we subject those samples to tests, and we come to know where the abnormality is.
Correct. Yes, any more questions?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
it's
So,
been
Lata,
a pleasure
yeah,
to all of you. I hope
yeah,
you like this session.
very
Uh,
much, very much.
Thank
Everyone liked it.
you very much for having
Yeah,
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much.
all the best.
yeah.
Thank you, Anna.
Lata will send the recording to him, right?
Listen, I'll
Okay,
Yeah.
you have my email address?
Yes,
send
yes.
it to Bhaskar and Anna will send it.
Okay,
Okay.
right. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay, Doc. Thank you so much. Yeah, really nice meeting you after a long time.
Pleasure meeting all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
you. Okay, all
yeah,
the
yeah.
best. Take care.
Okay, bye.